what are your questions for today's class, please?
Wait,
Sorry, what?
I'd like to. I will open the book. Just a minute.
You would like to what? Open the book?
Open the book. To ask you the
Questions.
questions which I.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
So what was the topic you prepared for today? So Hala, what was the topic?
It's the topic after roots.
Roots?
After roots.
After roots. And what is the topic after roots?
It's the name. Mineral nutrition and transport in plants.
Really?
I think. No. Oh, where is it? Sorry. No, here's. It's topic. It's chapter number. Chapter number 9. Flowers, fruit, and seeds.
Flowers, fruits, and seeds? Really? You are going ahead of the plan, Sahila. No? Because as far as I remember, we don't have lecture on that topic. Okay, so so what are your questions on that topic, flowers, fruits, and seeds? So according to the plan, we should have a test today on stems and leaves, stems and leaves. So that is why I expected you to be ready for the test. But everyone is left, so Muhammad, are you ready for the test? But if you have questions for the uh, flowers, fruits, and seeds, then we can discuss that topic too.
No, doctor, I'm not ready today.
So your questions on the topic flowers, fruits, and seeds. Have you
Okay.
prepared something? Have you read the chapter?
What?
Have you read the chapter?
No,
Why?
because I'm new in this group.
You are what?
I am new.
New? And
Yeah, I don't know anything.
so if you don't know anything, then you should ask your classmates what was the previous class, what should I prepare, what is the plan, where I can get everything. So actually, you can use the educational portal of the university, and the uh, the course name is Introduction to Botany. So you are signed up to that course, and please use the educational portal. And also lectures are at the uh, lectures are at the in there are links to the lectures at the same portal too, so please use these links to prepare to watch the lectures on that the lectures were recorded, so and they are published on YouTube, so you can uh, watch the lectures in case you missed them, and same for the practice classes. So and please use that for to prepare for the classes.
Okay, okay.
Teacher, today's topic is fruits and seeds, right?
I expected, according to the plan, it is the test.
Yes, it's this, but the next chapter is number 9.
Yes, right. If you are not prepared for the text, then next chapter.
Uh-huh.
So, what are your questions for this topic? And where are other students? I only can see Muhammad and you, Suhaila, and others.
I send them the link on the group.
You shouldn't send it every time. It is the same link. So please tell everyone that they should copy it and uh, bookmark this link so they can use it later.
Okay.
And do you have access to the educational portal?
Yes?
So have you tried to use the course that is named Introductory Botany?
No, we didn't get any test on the portal for botany before.
No, you should not take the test. Besides the test, there are many useful stuff there, so please use that to prepare for the
Okay.
classes.
Okay.
And the link is also there to this meeting. Is also in the at the portal, so please use that one.
Okay.
So what was your question, Sohaila?
Why the plant that live 1 year is rapidly changing the environment? Annual plant
Why do you think they're rapidly changing the environment?
to get used to the new environment, to be alive, I think.
Sohala, I cannot understand your question completely. So the question is about the annual one 1 year plan, annual plans, right?
Yes, why it's rapidly changing the environment, or
Roughly,
how changing.
how they change environment?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the environment, but the most of these plants are cultural and are used to produce food. So this this can affect the environment, and the difference from the annual plants and biennial and is that they uh, their vegetative uh, part is completely destroyed uh, after the summer. So and they don't have a
To
uh,
adapt the environment, right?
sorry,
To adapt to the new environment,
to adapt.
to keep alive. Hmm.
So is the question about adaptation or about the influence to the environment? Because when we talk about the influence to environment, this is usually bad influence. Like, uh, uh, so as far as I know, there is no anything bad that plants can do to the environment. And as for adaptation, yes, they adapt faster because they only have 1 year to for reproduction. So they have to grow fast, and then uh, and they survive better harsh conditions. So and the seeds are usually more resistant to the harsh conditions, and also uh, they don't require much resources. Like they unless the cultural species, they usually uh, can survive in bad environment, like on at the side of the roads, so at the hot sun. So they have more uh, flexibility. So this allows them uh, to be successful uh, in reproduction. Bes un besides besides they don't have a second year for reproduction. So usually for the biennial plants, the first year they accumulate uh, the organic substances and minerals uh, to be able to survive the next year and during the winter, and the next year they reproduce. So they don't produce flowers the first year, only every second year, and then they die. So after the successful reproduction, they die. So this is for biennials. So and but people sometimes don't allow them to reproduce, so they just use uh, the fruits and uh, any other, so they use them as a food. So the organic substances that they collect first year for reproduction, people can use them for as a uh, as a food. So that is why they usually don't survive the second year. But this is for cultural species. So actually, I don't see a great difference in the survivability, or um, the flexibility is not. It's almost the same. So, but there may be other points of view. So this is my uh, my own point of view. So you can disagree with me if you want, and many botanists will disagree with me too. So it is uh, no right answer for this question. So other questions? So why you asking this question? Any other questions? I cannot hear anyone. So maybe we don't had a lecture on the topic. So uh, can I ask you questions about the flowers? Have you prepared the topic? So you read the chapter? So Mohammed left the meeting immediately. The same moment uh, I want to ask questions. So Ahmed, Suhaila, so what do you know about the flowers? And I uh, I think Mohammed left early because uh, if he uh, if he would remain in the class, he will learn much about the flowers, not only in the terms of the botany, but uh, in other very useful terms uh, that I am sure he will soon encounter in his life, or maybe he already encountered. What is special about the flower, Ahmed? No, Ahmed, you are wrong. This is not the role of the flower. Do you know what is the role of the flower? The real role. But maybe it's not true in Egypt and Muslim countries. I'm not sure. So, but in most European countries, no, not reproduction. That reproduction is also, but is not the most important. The most important role of the flower is to express love to the opposite sex when um, courting the girl. So if you are a man and you are courting someone and you want to say that you love a woman, then you send her flowers. So this is the main purpose of the flowers. Is that true in the Muslim countries too, or not? Ahmed, only between wife and husband, but before before like so before becoming a wife and husband, then no flowers are allowed in Muslim countries. So only in some. So uh, only once or twice. Okay. And what are the cases? In some cases, what does that mean? Only in some cases. Okay, in which cases then? In some. What is the some cases? Between couples, it is between wife and husband. Okay. And so if flowers are if so if the man is not yet married on the woman, then how he should express the love if he cannot send flowers? So in European countries, they send flowers, but what is in Muslim? What is the alternative in Muslim countries? So the same. Okay, good. So that is why flowers are very important, and that is why we have 2 weeks. So we have 2 practical classes and 1 lecture. So we have 3 classes on this topic. Nadia, hello. So the topic is flowers. So and so that is why flowers play a great role in not only in the plants reproduction, but also in human reproduction. So that is why you should learn flowers very well. And additionally, they are so diverse. So and because of that, they are used for identification of the plants. So the most reliable way of the identification of the plant is by uh, by looking at the flowers. So like you can easily identify if the plant is monocot or dicot, and every species has its special structure of the flower, and by the type of the flower you can easily identify the plant. And it is particularly important for medicinal plants because some some species look like the medicinal plants, and then you should be able to distinguish between the medicinal and non-medicinal plant, and this will be your primary goal at the pharmacognosy. So to be able to distinguish the flowers, you should study the parts of the flowers. So what are the parts of the flowers? Okay, petals, sepals, stamens. So what are the function of the petals? So you can also use the microphone so you can answer faster, or and also the video camera if you have a video camera. Do you have a phone, Ahmed? And how do you use a phone without a microphone? Okay, good luck to you in fixing your microphone. So the petals, so Ahmed told that the petals are most prominent part of a flower structure, and this is true. So usually it is the largest and most vivid colors, usually red and yellow. So Ahmed, by the way, what kind of flowers do you send to the uh, woman in love? Jasmine flower? Really? Okay, because in Europe we usually send roses that are red. And what is the color of the jasmine? White? Oh, so it's different in Muslims because in usually in European countries, white flowers we send to the sisters, to the mothers, so like for the friends, not to the love. So and the color of the love is red in Europe. So usually these are roses and other red flowers. So Jasmine is also the name of a female name, Jasmine. So I think we have Jasmine in the group, right? Sakhala, do we have? So the petals, so most usually red, yellow, because the red, uh, the red and yellow are most attractive colors for the uh, insects. So because flowers are pollinated by the bees and flies, so and bees and flies cannot see much colors, so uh, they don't have a color vision, so they have only black and white vision, and they are attracted by the red color more than by other colors because they can see it better. Uh, and also they are attracted by the scent, so because uh, there are some flowers that, and sometimes the scent is pleasant, sometimes it's not very pleasant. There are some flowers that are attracted, so that produce the non-pleasant scent because they attract the flies, and flies usually put their uh, uh, so they reproduce in the garbage. So that is why some flowers will have an odor of the gar garbage instead of the pleasant odor. So and the second function is protection of the structures of the flower, and some flowers even close the petals during the night to protect the flower from the insects, from the wind. So and some flowers don't have petals, or they have a very small one. Well, this is usually not a case. So okay, and what is the sepals? Ahmed, what is the sepals? So the outer part, a part that is green. So it's it's usually attached the same way as the petals, and they both attach to the stamen, and usually uh, the sepals are green. That's true. And they also protect and hold the petals, so petals are usually more thin and sepals are usually thicker. Okay, and what is the stamen? So Ahmed, it's a male reproductive part, that's true. So Uh, what is the angiosperm? So, so you are telling that in angiosperms. So what is that means? Angiosperms. Okay, good. That's true. So angiosperms produce flowers, and then they produce seeds, and they're called angiosperms because the seeds are covered. Seeds are covered by the fruits or some protection. And the opposite is gymnosperms, where gymnosperms are like a Christmas tree. The fruits are not covered. So, like, do you like nuts? Ahmed, do you like nuts? I know that in Muslim countries they use nuts in sweets with the honey and some fruits, dried fruits usually. So the nuts are actually seeds that are not protected. So they don't have fruits. So and angiosperms they have fruits. So and this is kind of the protection of the seed and also the source of the energy for the development. And uh, actually also attracts the animals. So animals will eat the fruit, then seeds goes to the G to the GI, and then to the intestine, and then the animals will poop this seed with the poop to the soil, and then the seeds will have a good uh, minerals for the development. So because the poop of the animals is very useful for the seeds to produce a new plant. So I have a fly in my room. So and then the so the stamen consists of the stalk, filament, and uh, an anther. So what is the purpose of the stalk, filament, and anther? I mean not for the people batch for the plant. So the stalk is the base, and then the filament is um, uh, filament is increasing the height of the anther, and anther will produce a pollen. So the production of the pollen is the main purpose of the uh, uh, of the anther, so, and of the stamen. So, and then the pollen will be transferred to the another flower, or to the uh, to the same flower, to pollinate another flower, or to the same flower. So it's actually production of the pollen is the first step of the pollination, and during pollination is the way of the sexual reproduction in plants. So okay, so Hala, what is the female reproduction parts of the flower?
1 minute.
So we discussed male reproduction parts with Ahmed, and so female reproduction parts, I think it will be uh, better to discuss with you, Sahila, because you are female. So because it is I I suppose that in Muslim countries it's not allowed to discuss the female reproduction parts with the male, and vice versa. Or it's not true, Ahmed? Is it true or not? It's allowed. Oh, then if it's allowed, then you can also uh, help the
Female
Sahila.
reproductive
Sorry,
organs are the pistil,
again, Sahila.
pistil,
Pastel, okay.
including ovary
Ovary, it's right.
and stigma.
Okay, stigma. What is the stigma?
The stigma is the part which receives the pollen during fertilization.
Okay, good. So then, what happens after the uh, fertilization?
The stigma fall down in the tube of which called style to tell the ovary down
Okay, good. So we have a stigma, style,
to
and
the part
ovary.
called carpel. Uh-huh.
And what?
All the part called carpel.
Carpel. Okay, good.
It's in Arabic called Karbala
Carbaleta. Okay, good.
also. Mhm.
So what happens after that? After the pollen
After
will
what?
after the pollen will go down uh, through the uh, sty, through the stamen, so, through the style. Sorry.
Fertilization happened to the um, oval.
Okay. So what is
Oval.
the fertilization? What is the process?
Mm, um, fusion of the male and female gametophytes nucleus.
So I'm sorry, I killed the fly. So what is the
Okay.
nucleus?
Fusion of male and female flower and female male flower and female flower gametophyte nucleus.
Okay, so it's not the fusion of the flowers, but fusion of the gametes, right? So the
Yeah, I said female and male and female gametophyte nucleus.
gametophyte. Okay, good. So what happens after the fusion?
I think many many divisions happen.
Many? How many?
Divisions,
Yes, how many divisions?
divisions. For example, it's two. It will be four, then six.
What is the name of this division?
Mitosis.
Mitosis. Okay, good. And in angiosperms, there is a uh, the fusion is different because it have a double fertilization occurs. What is the double fertilization?
What is the question, teacher?
What is the double fertilization?
Double filter.
Okay, what is what?
No. I can answer. I
Okay,
think
okay.
double filterization. I think it's complex fertilization in flower plants.
Yes,
It
it is.
involves joining of a female gameto gam. It's called what?
Gametes,
Gametophyte.
gametophytes. Okay,
With two male gametes.
okay. Or sperm cells.
Yes.
So usually in animals, one sperm cell will join with the one uh, ovary cell. and they will make a zygote, and then they will make a new life, so a new or a new plant or animal. So, but in plants, in angiosperm, there is a double fertilization. So there are two sperm cells. One of them will join with what?
What, teacher?
So what happens with it? Why it's called double fertilization?
The two male gametes combine with the one for female.
And another combined with what?
One combine with the first one combine with the female gamete, and another one both, I think, or the endosperm.
Yes, the another one will form endosperm.
Uh,
No, it will not increase viability. Viability. What is the viability? So there are satellite cells with the female gametes together with the female gamete. So there are one mother cell that is large, and there are several small cells around. So some of them will develop ovary, and another will develop angiosperm. Angiosperm is actually the source of the nutrition for the developing seed, and seed will develop from the mother cell that is fertilized, that is fused with the first uh, a sperm cell, and second sperm cell will be fused with one of the satellite cells, and then will develop to the angiosperm, and other satellite cells will develop the stamen and other parts that are required for the development of the seed. And that double fertilization, uh, because of the double fertilization, uh, the genotype of the endosperm is 4N, and the genotype, so this allows for the development of the large amount of the nutritious uh, nutritious storage in the seed. So usually endosperm is larger because of that. So they have twice as much as genetic material, like 4N. Usually it's double N. So this is a double. Oh, okay, we will discuss this in detail at the next week during the lecture. So so it's actually better to discuss with the slides. Okay, then let's talk about the uh, types of the flowers. So what is a perfect flower? No, it's not. All flowers. Uh, yes, a perfect flower will have the male and female parts in the same flower, but additionally, it should have also other parts like stamen, the petal sepals. So if a flower don't have uh, petals, then it is imperfect already. So all parts of the flower should be present, so the flower to be perfect.
You mean which has male and female organs,
Sorry?
which has female and male organs at the same time.
Yes, but it is not the only. It's not uh, the only option. So
Only
they,
perfect flower.
for the perfect flower, they should have all parts, not only the male and female parts, but also the stamen, petal, and so like uh, so the like flowers with can be without petals or without sepals, and it will be in perfect flower already, even though it will have a stamen and a carpel. So okay, then let's look what is else. So what are the main ways of the pollination in flowers? This is a definition of the pollination, but the question was, what are the ways of the pollination? And stigma is always female, and anther is always male, so you can tell just from anther to stigma. There is no need to tell if it's male or female. So how the transferring of pollen occurs? What is the way of the transferring of pollen? So there are two main ways. First way is by insects. So the one insects uh, will land on the flower, and usually bees they are attracted by the scent and the color of the flower, and they consume uh, consume the uh, so they collect the food from the flowers. So, and during that process they will touch the anthers with are covered by the pollen, and pollen will stick to the body of the insect. Then insect will go to another flower, and then will transfer the pollen to another flower, and then the pollen uh, will fuse, so will be fused with the mother mother cell, and then this is the end of the fertilization of pollination. So the second way is by the wind. So usually the flowers that are pollinated by the wind. So pollination is the transfer of the pollen from one flower to another flower, or from the anther of the same flower to the stigma of the same flower, but usually it's from to the different flower, not to the same flower. So for this is called a cross pollination. So when the flowers are different, it's cross pollination. So and the second way is transferred by the wind, and usually the small flowers uh, with non-attractive petals and sepals will be pollinated by the wind, and the pollens can have a special uh, hairy structures to be able to fly good with the wind, and they can be transferred to the large distances like about 10 kilometers away. So pollination by the wind uh, is most common because it's most reliable, and also pollination with the insects is more common in the uh, cultural plants. So the plants that are used in agriculture usually require pollination by the insects. But there are also many that are pollinated by the wind too, or even self-pollinated. So okay, then so two main ways, by the wind and by the insects. And there is also artificial pollination when a person like human will pollinate by hand. So like they take the flower and then put that flower to another flower. So they identify the anther, the male flowers, and then pollinate with the male flower, female flowers to make it faster. Uh, okay. So I think we can stop here because we don't have lecture on that topic yet, so that is why it's hard to discuss. So and I expect for the next, so we will have a lecture next week on this topic, and then we will discuss in detail the flowers and also fruits and seeds. So I think we can conclude for today. If you don't have questions, of course. Sukhaila, do you have questions? So then the topic for next week is the same, flower, fruits and seeds. So we will discuss fruits and seeds mostly. And I will try to prepare a better lecture for you so you can understand better, uh, because the topic is uh, very complicated. So that is why I encourage you to visit the next lecture and also to visit the classes, all the students, because uh, because that will increase your knowledge and you will need your knowledge during the test. So also try to prepare for the test that you missed, and so you can have a higher scores. So see you next week at the lecture, and bye bye.